what it was like being a student here. So first up, I've got Sara and Daba.
So when I was younger, my parents told me the folk tale of the father, son, and the donkey. One day, a man and his son were taking their donkey to the market, and they both rode on its back to get to town. A village man stopped them and criticized them for overloading their donkey and exhausting it. So the father got off the donkey and walked alongside it with the son riding on it. As they passed a group of men, they called the son lazy for making his father walk while he sat. So the father ordered his son to get off the donkey and got on himself. After a little while, a couple shamed the father for making his poor little son trudge along. Finally, he got off, and both the father and the son walked alongside it, thinking there was no real way anyone could criticize them any further. But then, as they arrived to town on foot, people called them idiots. Now, my 7-year-old self didn't understand why my parents would interrupt me from coloring to tell me such an odd story that didn't make much sense to me. But now, 10 years later, I understand that it teaches us that no matter what you do, people will always have something to say about your actions, and there will always be something to criticize. When we humor their criticisms, we will be left in this constant cycle of exhausting ourselves while working towards this impossible goal of pleasing everyone around us. Of course, the lesson isn't to disregard any of the opinions of the ones around you. We should always value the opinions of our loved ones, but we should learn to distinguish constructive opinions from critical ones. I, like many others, have allowed myself to fall victim to the overpowering grip that some people's opinions may take hold of us at times. Conforming to others' opinions on who we should be or what we should be doing is a waste of our lives and a waste of the possible creativity and revolutions we might inflict upon this world. The energy spent seeking the approval of everyone but your own self weakens the intensity of flaunting who you really are, and you deny everyone the pleasure of really getting to know you. Eventually, it will become extremely difficult to distinguish between who you really are and who others want you to be. Throughout history, we see those who refuse to comply with the expectations of society are the ones who make the greatest impact, whether that be Martin Luther King Jr. or Miley Cyrus. Conforming to others' beliefs or standards on who we should be or what we should be doing is a waste of our lives and a waste of the possible creativity we inflict upon this world. Now, it's no secret that now, maybe even more than ever, we're constantly being shown that it's really a rich man's world and we're just living in it. We're living in a world where college graduate journalists are writing about a celebrity cellulite and what shoes they're wearing. We're almost being forced to care about their lives, trying to make us fans of people we otherwise wouldn't value. Almost on every aspect, we are being shown that we are inferior to our surroundings. So much, we eventually begin to believe it. The moment we begin to believe that we are less important than others is the moment our lives aren't worth living anymore. When we believe we are less important, we begin to believe our ideas are less important. We begin to believe our actions are less important. Our feelings, our thoughts, us. Now, I'm not saying that you should feel superior to others. Humility is essential in success. So we should constantly remind ourselves that we, and everyone else we cross paths with, have the same level of importance when it comes to the progression of this world. When we begin to believe that we are just as important as everyone else, we'll begin to fearlessly and unapologetically voice our opinions and begin to value them. The self-respect we hold for ourselves emits onto others and creates a constant cycle of understanding and appreciation. Gandhi says, "We but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body." If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. So now that our years of high school are behind us, we may now have the mental capacity to learn more about ourselves. We can free ourselves from the standards of others and create our own standards. Letting others' opinions affect us is a weakness in our own selves. With maturity comes self-fulfillment. This comes from valuing yourself and your opinion above all else, allowing yourself to adopt a set of morals and ethics that give you the steering wheel to dictate your own reality, to dictate your own perception of yourself. Isn't this the true root of happiness? To be able to sit there while the world may seem like it's on the verge of a nuclear Armageddon, but knowing the only thing you can change in this world is yourself. Knowing the change that you want in the world has to be the change that you implement in yourself. Now, my fellow class of 2017, let's ride on our donkey however we'd like and meet back here in 10 years with our masters, doctorates, awards, distinctions, children, and our happiness. Thank you.